This is the plaintiff, Mary Ann Toto. She says she saved for many years and saved enough to hire the defendant to create and install custom drapes in her home. Unfortunately, the drapes didn't match her dining room chairs. She feels as though she's wasted her money and is suing for a refund of the $1,556.40 she paid. This is the defendant, Patricia Appel. She says the plaintiff got all the materials and she sold them and installed them, and the woman loved them. Then, 2 months later, and out of the blue, the plaintiff called to complain she didn't like the color. Bottom line, she did an excellent job and owes this woman nothing. She's accused of calling it curtains.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says that she hired the defendant to make her some white curtains, but the curtains ended up yellow, and she wants the judge to sort things out. But the defendant says she installed the curtains, they matched perfectly, and now 2 months later, she wants a refund? It's the case of calling it curtains.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Toto, you are suing the person who made your drapes, Ms. Appel of Absolutely Appel Design Services, for a complete refund because, according to you, she botched it. Tell me what happened here.
Okay. Well, first I have to say hi, and you are the best. I watch you every day, and I'm a little nervous, but happy to be here.
Okay. You suck up when it's your turn, okay? All right. Go ahead, Ms. Toto.
I'm
teasing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I believe you, actually, because my ego is enormous. No. Go ahead, Ms. Toto. What happened here?
Okay. Well, here's what happened. I spent hours and hours first to find the right fabric that I wanted for the dining room chairs, and it was an important detail to have the same matching draperies.
So can we backtrack a second? Let me ask you questions. So, Ms. Toto, you had a dining room set with a particular fabric on the chairs, and you wanted the same fabric for your curtains. You hire the defendant to make those. So you tell her what you want, you tell her which fabric it is. Now, Ms. Appel, you have her purchase the fabric separately and pay you for labor. Is that correct?
Yeah, she chose to do that.
Okay, and that does not include the backing, though, that you put on the drapes, does it?
I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm providing it? Is that the question?
Yeah, that's my question. Are you providing it?
Okay. Yes, I am.
Right. So she didn't buy that. The person who chose to put ivory backing on a white drape was you.
I chose to put an ivory background on that drape, as I have done through my entire career.
Well, why wouldn't you put a white one? The fabric that she picked for the drapes is super snow white. Her complaint, what is your complaint about the drapes, Ms. Toto?
Well, especially at night, that day when she left, everything at the moment looked okay. And then that night, I went into the dining room, I put the chandelier on, and yellow just jumps out.
Okay.
And to be honest, at first I thought it was my imagination, but then some close friends came over, my husband, my daughter, my son. They said, Mom, I think these drapes look yellow. They don't match the chairs anymore.
It's not a matter of anymore. It's a matter of always. Why didn't you notice that right away, that they felt more golden? I mean, one thing is obviously the sun shining in is going to make something look more golden. There's no question about that. You got offended when the defendant said that, but she's right about that. But your complaint, here we go. This is a photo of the drapes with no sun shining through them, because so I guess you're just trying to show me how they look, period?
Yes, and in the room, they do still cast a yellow tinge.
Okay,
yes.
So at some point, she puts them on before Thanksgiving.
Right.
What is this a picture of? Drapery fabric matches chair fabric.
Right, yes.
So where did you put the drapery fabric? Which one of these is a drapery fabric? I'm just trying to figure out.
The one that's folded and has almost that iridescent look. I don't know if it was my camera, my phone, but to the left and the right of it, you can see that it's white, and it matches.
Do you feel like you feel like the left does match the white? And if that's the case in this picture, what's the problem when they're hung? Is this fabric with the lining or no lining? The fabric that you're putting there has no lining?
No lining.
All right. How did you get the fabric with no lining in order to take this picture? I'm confused because all of the drapes have a lining on them.
Because she returned
the unused fabric.
The unused fabric, yes.
Okay. Now, this is a picture of what? It's pinned. What are you trying to show me there?
Well, I had put solid white and pinned it over the yellow. I pinned it behind. So it does cut down somewhat. And I understand about the sun shining through, but even the part that is mostly on the wall still has the yellow tinges.
All right, so at some point you text her, and it is a month or two after she's left. You text her and you tell her, I think I know what it is. It's that the backing is ivory and it should be snow white. And what does she say?
Well, that's what you ordered. Then I had COVID. And all this time I'm thinking, and to be honest, I was just trying to work up the courage to give her a call and let her know. So on that phone call, I was dismissed. She never called me back.
Well, how were you dismissed on the phone call? What do you mean?
She said to me, that's what you ordered. And then we started to communicate by text because I had never heard back from her by phone.
Okay. And what would she tell you?
And she's too busy to see me.
So let me hear your side of things, Ms. Appel, because she feels like she's not exactly getting customer service. You feel like she's, she approved it and now she's complaining. Tell me your side of things.
Well, I don't know if you can see this or not, but this happens to be a piece of white paper and a sample of Ms. Toto's fabric on top of it. It happens not to be pure white. I have a picture that I sent you. I believe it is Exhibit G. And that is the picture that she actually looked at to choose this design.
Is it this one, ma'am? Can you see it?
Yes,
okay,
that is the picture.
All right.
I show you this because the fabric here is almost identical to what Ms. Toto has in her place.
Right.
As you can see,
what I can see is that the drapes are not having sun shining through them. They're
but the
flat against the
do.
wall. Well, the balance is all, but I don't even think she's complaining about the balance. She's not complaining about the sheer fabric. She's complaining about the one that's over the fabric that's on her chairs. In other words, this is the picture, and to me, there's a million pictures here, but this is the one that I find that I'd like to discuss with you, which is this one. This is the spare fabric on the left, and this is the chair on the right. They're perfect. They're creamy. It's not a stark white. It's creamier. But when we know that sun is going to shine through on the drapes, I'm just curious, why pick an ivory instead of picking a white when her chairs are so, gleamingly white? Why not just pick a white backing instead of ivory?
I've always used ivory. Ivory is just an off-white. I have always used it, and what I was trying to explain to you...
Are you trying to tell me that there's no such thing as the white backing? You're not saying that, right?
No.
Okay.
I'm not saying that.
I have a lot of drapes that I've made in my house, and not me, that I've had made, and I'm kind of careful never to put ivory behind white for this reason.
Okay. What I was trying to express to you before with the other picture...
This is the previous client picture. That's what you want me to see, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
And basically, it's the light that comes through, depending upon what kind of light. The picture on the right does show a bit more yellow of what you're zooming in on.
Right, but my dear, I don't think... Is this the sheer that I'm looking at, or is this the...
No,
it's
this is the same fabric
of the chair.
as the drapes. Oh, no, this is not Ms. Toto's.
I know, it's a previous client's. I know.
Yes, I see.
I just don't know if it's the sheer that the sun, like right here, I'm zooming in on it. Is that a sheer, or is that the fabric without backing?
That is the same fabric
without backing.
The drapes with backing.
How are you able to put a backing on that's the same backing you put on hers, but gather it that way? It's not the same backing you have on hers.
Yes, it is. So I think what I'm
Can I
trying
ask
to
you something?
explain
How
to
expensive is it to change the backing on the fabric? Like, in other words, if instead of blowing her off, because you did, you truly did just kind of, you felt like she was unreasonable and you didn't give her the time of day. You did not treat her like a client you're trying to woo, let's be honest. You told her you are too busy to see her. That is not exactly tremendous customer service. So I feel as though those are the actions of someone who thinks she's unreasonable and you don't want to give her the time of day. But let's assume that it had gone better than that and you had gone there and you had felt like something maybe should be done to try to get it whiter. How big a deal is it to change the backing?
being that the whole treatment would need to be taken apart. And the only way to stop the light from coming through would be to put a blackout lining in. And that was offered to Ms. Toto. She declined that.
Do we have a picture of the actual background? Did you send me, Ms. Toto, a picture of the actual lining background itself? So
I have a picture of Exhibit H.
No.
That is the picture I took of the job before I left.
Okay, I know, but that doesn't show me the backing. Does anyone have the backing, a picture of the backing, so I can see the color of the backing? Anybody.
I see where you're going.
Yep. Are you at your house, Ms. Toto? When you start off with "and Your Honor," I know you're going somewhere other than where I'm asking. Are you at your house right now, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Could we go visit your shade right now? In question?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. I don't know. Can you see this? I'm sorry. Can you see it?
Yeah. Can you do me a favor, though? What I'd like to see is the back of it. I want to see the lining.
This is the lining.
Okay. Can you stand back? Can you stand back more? Frankly, I thought it was going to be a lot more yellowish. What I'd like you to do is take the drape and put it on half of the chair. I want you to do something. I want you to make the chair less exposed to the sun. I want the chair to face the same way the drape is facing. So turn the left part of the chair a quarter way. Now stand back. Now stand still. Okay, you can go ahead and go back.
May I interject?
No.
Okay.
So, Ms. Toto, I get what you're saying, I do, and you've done a very good job of putting your case together here. But I have to be honest with you, I really did expect the backing to be a lot more ivory than it was. It's virtually white. And went right now in that last shot, when we put the shade right on top of the chair and have them facing the same way with the same lighting, they're indistinguishable. The problem is the sun shining through. And it will always make it more golden. It's not really a problem unless you feel it's a problem. If you feel it's a problem...
No, I don't feel that's the problem.
Well, that's exactly what you said in every text was the problem. The only other problem it could be is that it's a different dye lot, which is not something she's responsible for. But when I see the back of that backing, I really did expect it to be a lot more ivory than it was. It's not that ivory. I'll be honest with you. It's not that ivory. And I don't think that that's what's responsible for it. I think what's responsible is, either that it's a different dye lot, which wouldn't be her problem, or that and I don't think that's it either. I think it's a perfect dye lot. I don't think that's the issue. I think that when they hang and there's light coming through, they get more, they just look a little more golden. So if you want a blackout shade, then you get a blackout shade. And you can get a blackout shade that's solid white. You get a blackout backing, but you were offered the opportunity to get a blackout blacking, and you didn't, so that also wouldn't be on her. I think you'll get it to look the way you want it to look if you pay somebody to change the backing to complete blackout, which can be white. It doesn't have to be black, but it has to be solid that no sun is shining through it. But I don't think this is a defect in her workmanship, and I'm ruling in favor of the defendant.
So the judge ends up ruling for the defendant in this case after having the plaintiff do a lot of work and showing her the curtains. Ms. Toto, how do you feel about it? What do you think about what the judge just told you?
Well, the light only comes through maybe 4 inches on each side. My complaint was the yellow shows through that fabric even where the wall is, and no light comes through.
Well, the judge understands a lot about this, as I think.
Yes, I know. It's okay. You know what? I know she's very fair and she's very good.
Okay, well, it's nice of you to put it that way, after losing. Ms. Appel, the judge kind of roasted you for being poor customer service. Let's put it that way. How do you respond to what she told you about that?
I was unable to share many of the texts and such. It was unnecessary. The judge didn't need them. But it wasn't as Ms. Toto said.
Well, you're lucky you prevailed, okay? Congratulations. You're off the hook.
Thank you.
So, Doug, it is so important when you buy something like this, curtains, get a sample of it before you have somebody make it, so then you can compare the sample against what is actually installed. In this case, really, the plaintiff got what she was after. It was just the son that was the culprit.
Judge Milian, are your earrings some of your treasures from TJ Maxx?
I will never live down that TJ Maxx comment, boy. I have heard from more friends about that. Yeah. I love a bargain. I can't help it. And it's home goods that I spend my time on because it's always house stuff. Yeah. But I will not apologize for liking a bargain.
You're right. And look, hey, you will not drive past a Tuesday morning if you have some extra time, right?
Yeah,
or
I graduated a little. I'm now into home goods. It's, I love a bargain. What can I say? My kids used to tease me about the fact that I coupon. Right. Yeah, and then I save 25% on my Macy's purchase or on my, Saks or whatever it is. So, yeah.
And the truth is, you, on any given day, are going to be wearing either Tiffany's or TJ's. It's going to be, who knows where.
Sometimes both.
Sometimes both together. And you know what? That's kind of what style is about. The people who can pull this stuff off wearing almost anything, and it's about how they put it together.
Basically, if I like something I see, then that's what I buy, and that's it. I either like it or I don't like it. It's either real or it's not. It's either expensive or it's cheap.
A lot of celebrities kind of conduct themselves that way. I know that, Floyd.
I'm sure no one conducts themselves like the refugee that I conduct myself as. I'm pretty sure that you can take the girl out of the refugee camp, but you can't take the refugee out of the girl. Right. That's what's going on here.
Right.